Welcome back. Lehigh Valley's number one podcast in the Lehigh Valley. We paid to be in a style magazine and they gave us an award. So with that being said, this is the Valley's best podcast in the area. Hands down. What if I was like that? Be awful. If you want to sponsor the show, that's how we keep the lights on. These are the ads for the show. People pay. We put it on. That's how I pay the bills. This isn't done for free. It's a job. If you'd like to support us, you'd like to get your business out there, you'd like to have more options on what you can do with a business, contact me. We're doing cool things over here. I can help you out. You need apparel. You want to push your show further. You need a commercial. I can help anything you need. Anything you need. I got you. Be a part of the family. Very Fast and Furious. I'll say it each week. Fast and Furious. We love it. neveragainstudio@gmail.com. Be a part of the family. crawlspacerepairs.com. 570-476-5866. Dennis Coes, we've had him on the podcast. He's a friend of the show, and I support all the things that Dennis is doing. He has 120 years of experience in crawl space and foundation repair. He also can do waterproofing and any basement repairs you need. It's basement, crawl space, and foundation repairs. He does a little bit of some other things too, and you can get all that information on crawlspacerepairs.com. It's 570-476-5866. If you got a leaky basement, you need something fixed with your crawl space, you just need anything done at all, Dennis can do it. He's a really good dude. I wouldn't recommend him unless he wasn't the best at doing it. So check him out. It's Dennis Coes at crawlspacerepairs.com. That's 570-476-5866. Basement repairs, foundation repairs, crawl space, all of your needs. Hit him up. fiveanddimeeaston.com. They have their website officially up. You can shop most of their stuff online. They also have Fucked. They have Fucked in the store. I think they're the only one allowed to sell Fucked out of their store. It's 484-544-4719. That's at Five and Dime Easton on social media. These guys are great. I mean, they're killing it. It's the best skate shop, in my opinion, in the area. They have a lot of cool stuff there. Both the owners are rad. I stop in when I can. They're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 7, Saturday, 10 to 7, and Sunday, 11 to 5. There is someone always there to help you out with your needs. You can check their inventory off the website. You can check out some videos they got on there, and they're doing some cool things. Their social media is awesome. They support a lot of local skaters in the area, and they're growing. I'm excited to be a part of them growing. I'm excited to help them out. They're helping me out. It's a good relationship, and I push Five and Dime Easton because they're the best skate shop in the area. Check them out. Legacy Landscaping, Lehigh Valley. Where do I start with this guy? Glenn Honan. If you don't know him, you should get to know him. Find them on social media. They have a great social media. They have fun with their stuff. They have characters on their crew. You can get them at Legacy Landscape PA is their Instagram. Glenn's coming back on the show soon. He's one of my favorites, man. You can get in touch with him for all your landscaping, hardscaping, snow removal. This guy does it all, and he is the definition of working class. He buys everywhere. I'm going to eventually do a working class t-shirt with Glenn. He busts his ass. He's got a crazy story from nothing all the way up to something. I love seeing him running businesses, and he's just a stand-up, straight-up guy. If you're looking for that and you want to get quotes and you want to work with a reliable, hardworking person, which is impossible to find anymore, that's Legacy Landscaping. They're going to be your choice for all your landscaping needs. It's 610-533-3669, and you can hit them up at legacylandscapeslv@yahoo.com. Check them out. BTG Blasting. My man, Pat Cunningham, offering you pressure washing, disinfecting, acid washing, and rust removal. It is a high pressure washing business, bringing your stuff back to glory. He does anything from houses all the way to having him come into the studio. He comes down to the studio on a schedule and he disinfects the studio, and we are certifiably clean, and it just covers all the bases. So with the things that are going on now, You're gonna need somebody like this. He's got a sticker out front. I am certifiably clean down here. He also offers free estimates on all your needs. He can do corporate and at home. You can reach him at 484-241-1711 and btgblasting@gmail.com. He just started this business and it is taking off. I'm super excited for him, and I'm super excited that he's a sponsor of the show. And you can check out BTG Blasting on social media for all of your pressure washing, disinfecting, acid wash, and rust removal needs. It's high pressure washing, bringing your stuff back to glory. He offers many things, and you need to check him out.
Zach Maslany now making his way to the stage. Maslany in the black and white. Expect fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. It's Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem.
Veritable dream team of killers.
Him and JM
Yes, sir.
holding down the fort at 10th Planet Bethlehem.
Great technique. He's
a beast. He's a savage.
excellent coaches, I have to say. Great guys, JM and Zach.
That's a beautiful.
Great guys, JM and Zach.
Veritable dream team of killers.
He's a beast. He's a savage.
It's Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
10th Planet Bethlehem. That's 10th Planet Bethlehem. It's a
Great technique. It's
10th Planet Bethlehem.
Zach's Corner podcast is back in that ass. Drinking another coffee. It is Tuesday afternoon, and yeah, man, we're getting another one in before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving coming up, huge holiday. I love Thanksgiving. I love all holidays. I know a lot of people are bah humbug out there. I am not. I like the holidays, but a little bit different since we're living under the new normal dictatorship of Governor Wolf and Governor whatever the governors are. And, Trump has seemed to disappear into the woods. I guess he's playing golf and stuff like that. So, the governors are kind of out here running rampant, but there's nothing you could do about that anyway, because we live in the United States of America. And if you don't like the state, you can move, which I eventually will do, but I'm not going to do that yet. Still got a lot of work to do here in our hometown. But yeah, man, crazy shit with that. Just, trying to, they made a, Governor Wolf and Dr. Rachel Levine, if you can believe that, made a more mandates, more tyrannical BS mandates that make absolutely no sense. They mandated now that first of all, you got to wear a mask in your house. No one's doing that. Then they also said that they are going to, so tomorrow, and I was just talking to a friend of mine, shout out to Mox Goot out here in Bethlehem, been around forever. Shout out to Pete over at the Goot. Got a cheesesteak the other day. We got the Goot dog. That's also really good too if you ever go to the Goot. But man, they're hurting, dude. Like everybody, I'm not putting his business out there, but I'm sure you guys are aware that are listening to this, the restaurant business are getting fucked. And it's not good, man. It sucks. A lot of people I know, even the Bayou's been closed, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
Yeah, I reached out to Pete as well and told him he can come on the podcast if he wants. But he was one of the first businesses I thought of. And plus, you have to forget that they make that nut on Thanksgiving Eve. That's the biggest night. And then it's almost like he has a vendetta against bars.
Yeah. I don't understand. Well, first they were like, oh, yeah, you can sell it to people. Make no sense. They were like, you can sell alcohol and liquor to people and you can just pick it up at the store and take it home. But what? Like, that doesn't make sense. So now you're encouraging people to you're not encouraging, but you're really pretty much telling people, okay, hey, if you got to drink and drive, I'd go down to Tanzas down over here. There's two Tanzas. I go to the one in Bethlehem, and so catch me down at Tanzas. It's a beer distributor.
We should get them to sponsor.
They should. Yeah, I want to get a Tanzos t-shirt too. I'll wear it on the podcast. But cool thing about Tanzos is they were like letting people in and they were doing all this stuff. But you go down there and you would go in and get these slushies, and it's like $12 for a slushie. And or no, not $12. Maybe they're $8 or $10 or whatever, but they're like a big ass thing, and it's like 12% alcohol volume content. Like you drink one of those and you're on your ass. You drink two of those and it's hangover city. It's like basically the movie Hangover. That's what you're gonna deal with if you drink one of those slushies from Tanzo. So then a lot of people started doing slushies because you can just sell them. But I go down there to get a 6-pack and I'm looking around and everybody there is drinking slushies out in the, in their car and stuff like that. And the guys out there like, hey, you can't drink that. Hey, you can't drink that. And I've gotten a few of the slushies, but mostly I just get a craft 6-pack because I'm a D-bag. But, some stout beers or something. I'm trying to get Thor Fat Tire. Shout out to Fat Tire Beer. If you listen to this, which I'm sure you don't, We're trying to get them to sponsor Thor, and I think they just did DM me, and they're going to be hopefully sending them some T-shirts and some free swag, at least maybe a 6-pack. Can you even send beer in the mail? I don't even know.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
When I was 21, I ordered we were having a contest who can buy the worst alcohol. I got an Arrogant Bastard Ale 40s sent from California, and they dropped them off on my buddy's porch. And I looked at him and I said, we could have been doing this since we were 17.
Yeah, we didn't even realize you could order. I did. Someone sent me, maybe it was my aunt or somebody from Canada once sent me a.
Hey?
They sent me what was it called? Those Molson Triple X.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you
remember
couldn't
those?
get it. Yeah.
Blackout City on those bad
Yeah,
boys.
you would. Yeah, you're like, I remember when someone's like, "You ever see Triple X?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?"
It was like taboo. It
Yeah.
was scary.
Well, in Canada, I think some of the beers have higher alcohol content in Canada because you can have it or something.
Yes, it was
know.
something like that. I don't know how the laws have changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was something where there was the alcohol percentage was only able to be that. We're probably
Something
wrong.
to do with the hops. You know, I don't know, but whatever. It was really cool. I thought Triple X was a shit back in the day. But yeah, it's crazy. It's like they got something against bars. So man, local businesses. If you guys are sitting at home or you got some scratch and you got some money laying around and you're making more money than you usually do because it's the pandemic or whatever, grocery stores, they're doing fine. Okay. So if you have some local spots that you like, that, you know, like for me, I like the Bayou. I like, you know, the Goot. I like, the Social Still. I like, these are just local restaurants. And we'll order for them, PJ Wheelhands, JP McGillicuddy's, all those places, all the Irish named ones, you know, Boca Joe's. Anybody remember Boca Joe's? That place was a joke. Someone got their head kicked in outside. They had to shut her down. And then they opened up Banana Joe's. Someone got their head kicked in. And they had to shut her down. And then they also got people ringing shots off. It's Allentown. What do you expect? But that was actually a cool area. But yeah, they if the whole point of that story is to, support local businesses. There's a lot of businesses like mine, not just martial arts schools, but salons and, barbers and all types of stuff that really got hit with some crazy shit. And they can't shut down. They got to keep going. What do you want people to do? They have to keep doing stuff. And it's a mix between taking chances and going out there and doing something for yourself. I always feel like when you do nothing, and me and JM used to say this all the time, when you sit at home and do nothing, nothing happens. Nothing's going to happen. Like maybe you get on the internet, make some shit happen, whatever. But even that, you have to get off your ass and open up the laptop and go on there and start applying this stuff or whatever you're going to do. Like actually, if you're a business that's in the Northampton County, you can go on the Northampton County website. It has something to do with the Chamber of Commerce. I know we're not too fond of them, but they are giving out grants. They have a couple $1 million from who knows where to give grants out to small businesses. So we'll see. I'll be keeping you guys updated. And right now, my bank guy, everybody should have a bank guy out there. He tells me there's no money from the government coming. So don't expect Big Daddy government to come bail you out. You're going to have to go out there and get it yourself. And that's what we got to do. You got to just do it yourself.
I saw that article. Do you think that that's legit? There wasn't too much information on it. It just said that the chamber had it and you had to go on their website. But I don't know if it's like you have to
applied.
be on. Do you have to be on the chamber or?
I don't know. I already applied. And I have the lady's email, so I'm going to wait. I applied like at 2 a.m. on Saturday probably or some weird hour.
Yeah.
So today is Tuesday. I was just going to give them Thanksgiving, and then next week I'm going to check back in with them and see what's up. So, and that's also, here's your business tip. I didn't even write this one down, but it's a good one. Here's your Zach Mazalash, Uncle Zach's Corner business tip of the week. And that is you got to be persistent. If you hit the person up once, like this happened to me a couple times with jobs. If you hit the job up and you put the application in and you sit back, how many people I would ask and be like, hey, did you get the job? And they're like, I applied, but I didn't hear back. And I'm like, oh, did you call them? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, did you touch base with them? No. And that was one thing that they told me. Somebody told me that, at like a job fair or some dumb shit that I went to back in the day. And out of all the asinine things and the things that you're already supposed to do, but you don't do, even though you're supposed to do them, you still don't do them. One of the things that I actually remembered was to check back in. So, if you guys don't know this, for you young guys out there, or if you lost your job because of the corona or whatever, you put out 1 million applications, kind of like one of my buddies, when he used to go to the bar, he would just go out there and try to hit on every chick. And then hopefully one would come through, and I'd be like, dude, you're ridiculous. And he would just be like, it's a numbers game. It's a complete numbers game. You ever know a guy like that?
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. I'll hit on everybody. Yeah, I'll hit on everybody. One of them will come through. It's the same thing when you're trying to get a job. Look at every job, put every application in. And then as the opportunities hopefully come in, then you can pick and choose which ones you want to do. And you can always don't just ghost someone, be like, hey, thank you for the opportunity. Actually, something, just came up and I'm going to have to do this, but I want to keep you, blah, 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 that type thing. But if it's a job you really want and they don't get back to you after a week, hit them back up. Don't just email them too. I'll call the fucking place. Like when I was trying to get a job at the, I worked as a juvenile probation. I wasn't a probation officer. I was like a community service work crew supervisor, like 9,000 titles. And I worked for a probation office. But when I wanted that job, I had to call them 1,000,000 times to get the, job. I had to just keep calling them. And then finally they were like, I finally got in touch with the guy. I was like, hey, who's in charge of the applications? And then they told me the guy's name. And then next day I called him. I got to his voicemail. I didn't leave a message. And then I called back and then he answered the phone. And I was like, hey, I just, got your information from the front or whatever. And at first I think he was kind of perturbed. But then he was like, all right, well, what do you want? I was like, I really want to, work at the probation office. I'm working on a degree there and everything. And he was like, all right, next Tuesday at noon, can you do an application or can you do an interview? I was like, hell yeah. I mean, I probably didn't say hell yeah, but I was like, yes, sir. Or whatever. When I was,
it might have been during when Stone Cold was popular.
Yeah, I should have been like, "Give me a hell yeah!" And all the guys in the warehouse that were like, "Is he over there doing a job?"
Slamming beers.
I was hiding in the warehouse that I worked at. I was hiding in the in between the shelving units behind boxes, like doing job interviews over the phone. So you got to do what you got to do, man.
What do they say? That saying my buddy tells me work sales is the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yep. You got to just keep hitting people up. It's the same with jiu-jitsu guys, like that want to get matches. Like, sure, obviously, if you're the creme de la creme, if you're like the cream of the crop, remember Macho Man would say that one? We'll rise to the top. But if you are, they're gonna call you. If you're killing it that much in your field, they're gonna call you. They're gonna be knocking on your doorstep like how they are with Grace and Thor, and getting big matches. And I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But they're gonna come knocking on your doorstep and they want to know what's up. But if not, and you're everyone else, if you're the 99.999% of the population out there, you got to start hitting people up. Even if you're like in a mid-tier or like top-tier guy, how does the tournament know that you want to compete on their event? So you got to slide into the DMs of the promoter, slide into the DMs of the tournament. Hey, who do you know at this guy? And I know a couple of dudes are really good at that. And just go on and talk your shit, and then you'll get your matches. You'll get on. And then don't shit the bed, though, when you go to compete and you just talk crap and, you're sliding into the DMs. You got to tell them, like, hey, listen, I'm ready to throw down. Let's do this, so so just be persistent. That's your tip of the week. So what else is going on? So coming up is the who's number one. Oh, what's that?
Press that power. I forgot to turn it off. Right next to you is the power button.
Oh, snap. Actually,
professional studio down here.
It sucks. I had to turn it off because that actually felt pretty good.
Yeah. Humidifier.
The who's number one. So the next, we're talking about if you're one of the best people, they're just going to knock on your door. And Grace and Thor have huge matchups coming up. Grace going to be, she's ranked number 2 in the strawweight division, according to a bunch of bloggers at Flow Grappling. And Maisa Bastos is ranked number 1, and she deserves that 100%. And Grace definitely deserves to be number 2 because she's pretty much defeated everybody. So they're going to go at it at an event, called Who's Number 1, which is really cool. It's going down in Austin, Texas. Thor will also be facing Wagner Rocha, which is also a huge matchup. I don't know what Wagner's ranked. Thor's ranked number 7, I think, but he's actually beaten guys higher that are ranked higher than him. So you know how the polls work. But they're fake news, just like, I'm not going to bring it up. But so Grace, man, just everything about these two, like, killing it. Like, Grace is getting moved to the fast track. She just got her black belt at 18. And that brings me to the BJJ Heroes thing. And I want to pull that up real quick. I had it on my figure I had it up and now I lost it. Every time that happens when you want to show someone something on the phone. Here it is, Grace Gundrum, BJJ Heroes. I think we've shared this before, but they're talking about, you know, I should just bring it up. It's on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I'm an idiot. Damn it. What now? Instagram also changed his whole freaking situation, so I don't know how to get to anything anymore. I'm an old man. All right, here we go. BJJ Heroes. I posted on the gram. Undefeated since she was 12 years old and the youngest American female athlete to achieve the rank of black belt. Oh, damn it. Now I clicked off it. Okay, here I'm back. Dang. That's insane, right? Just hearing that, like knowing that, whoa, I had a part of that. And that, you know, I'm involved in Grace's life and you know, as one of her coaches and stuff like that is so huge, man. Like, that's crazy. She's the youngest. And I know some other, you know, you know, soy boy, as JM would call him, is going to come out there and try to rank someone to black belt earlier than that, because they always do that. I remember that happened to Ashley Williams. He was like the youngest black belt, and someone's like, no, this guy's the youngest black belt now. So someone always does that. It's kind of like the guy at Price is Right that says $1, and you're like, dude, or 421. It's like, dude, just call out the number. Stop trying to screw me over with some weird playing the game shit, right? Just pick the number, jerk off. So yeah, Grace is undefeated since 12. Everybody already knows that, but you know, that's something I was touting before, that she was the youngest female ever to achieve the rank of black belt. Grace Gundrum, a student of J.M. Holland and Zach Maslany of 10 Planet Bethlehem affiliate school, not even the HQ. Jiu-Jitsu silent assassin, one of the most promising grapplers in the world. Today's BJJ hero is Grace Gundrum. Dude, insane, right? And that's how they said her name when we were in Japan. So Grace, she doesn't even know, we've talked about this before, but she doesn't even know the shit's going down. We're like, Grace, there's an article about you. She's like, all right, whatever. She's been wrestling. You wrestled yesterday, wrestling today. Training with us tomorrow, Thursday open mat, Friday back training with us, and I think she's been wrestling on Saturday. So, you know, she's got this matchup. I mean, there's not going to be much wrestling going on. I believe that Maisa Bastos will probably pull guard, so we're going to see this slicing and dicing of Grace's guard passing, and then if she gets swept, it don't matter. It's sub only 15 minutes. That's the way we like it. We got other people already calling Grace out for matches and stuff, wanting to bet me money. You know, well, I'm wanting to bet them money. So, and we'll see if any of these fools got any actual cash, or they're just, you know, going to have to borrow money off their dad or something like that, or they're going to come at me with some scratch. And, you know, I'll bet on Grace all day. Even if even if we lose, we win on that one, if that makes any sense. So, what else is going on? So that's in Texas, December 11th. That's going to be on Flow Grappling. JM's actually fighting this weekend on UFC Fight Pass. You know, it sucks. Like all of everything cool, you know, all the big matchups that we get are behind a paywall, so you got to figure out how to either, you know, just watch it. So it's not just supporting Grace and Thor when you watch these matches, or supporting JM when you get Fight Pass. Like, and I know UFC's getting richer, but honestly, you're supporting the game, and hopefully UFC puts more money, you know, Fight Pass puts more money into combat jiu-jitsu and you know, Quintet and other big tournaments like that. And same with Flow Grappling. A lot of people talk shit on Flow Grappling, and I know I'm completely, you know, turning from years ago when I used to just crap on all these things. But, you know, I had my reasons back then too. But now, really, I mean, what they're doing is, you know, they're promoting grapplers. Like, they're starting to, you know, and we may or may not have some guys on the inside over there, so that's why they're starting to promote us a little bit differently. But, you know, I kind of like the way things are going, and you know, I'm sure there's a lot of inner working going on that I don't know. But as for now, I mean, they're cool with me, so we're gonna just keep it rocking with that. And yeah, I'm gonna support them as much as I can. You know, as long as we got, you know, matches coming in and things are getting, you know, put up on there, and they're you know, being cool about it. Because the one thing we always had with the blogs and with the you know, the articles that were written and stuff, where they weren't accurate, number one. And then number two, they just, you know, they would always skim over us, or like, you know, talk about someone else who we already beat, or Grace already beat, or whatever. And that's really annoying, you know, when you're trying, when you're on your come up of whatever you're doing, whether it's you know, you want to get your just due, and that feels good. And it feeds you to do more things. So sometimes if you don't get that, you know, the accolades, or maybe you're getting the accolades, but you're not getting the, you're not getting people telling you, like, and it's feeding your ego, you know, which is good and bad. But sometimes you need a little bit of that. And it's like, hey, we're working hard. And then you'd see an article written about a guy who runs a tournament, and the article's about me, but it's about someone else. So it'd be like, huh? Like, why are they skipping over us? And they didn't want to, for a while, they just didn't want to put us on for some reason. They didn't want to promote us. I always put up that old Nick Diaz, and Nate Diaz, it's a YouTube video. Search the Nick and Nate Diaz dope video, and it's Nate Diaz. He's like, they're promoting everybody, like they're smoking weed and stuff, and he's like, they're promoting other fighters more than us, and that's how I used to feel all the time. And I felt like we always had we have an interesting story, and we have a cool conglomerate firm of different kind of people, and like we got everybody on the squad, and we're not doing it. We have the 10th Planet Eddie Bravo name behind us, and we have everybody, John Jock and all the guys who have helped us. But really, me and JM built this ground up, and most of the people out there bought it renovated. And, they were like, oh, I'll take over this. Hey, and that's cool too. But man, we've been building this stuff since the beginning, and Grace and Thor aren't like implants and dudes who are like already good from another school, and then they came on to instructor, and then the instructor's like, I made all these guys. It's like, well, me and JM made ourselves. Obviously we always had Eddie's help, and he's been we wouldn't have any of the opportunities if it wouldn't be for Eddie Bravo, that we got. And he really was the first one to put Grace on and believe in her and stuff too. But we're out here like, I don't have Eddie Bravo calling me saying, Zach, wake up and lift weights with Bryant. JM, you got to train with the best guys, or Thor, you got to drive down to this place and train, or, Eddie doesn't have time to tell us shit all the time. He's worried. He's looking into shit on himself. He's working on all, stuff, and I'm just feeding off him, and, we're just, going back and forth. But it's just crazy to see. And now that people are giving us accolades, or people are giving us like, respect and all that stuff, now is the time to be the most humble. Like, so I always feel like talk your shit when you need to, but then also when the people do give you, the respect and everything, and they do put you on, and it's not like, I don't want to be like, where the fuck were you guys before? Fuck you guys. It'd be easy to say that, but now what's the point? We won. We already won. Everyone had to admit, if that's what you really wanted and you wanted to just rub people's face in the ground, they have to admit it. Okay, we won. Let's move on from there, and let's keep it moving. I'll say thank you and be very respectful to other people. I've even, I think I'm great in this, how I'm growing up, because I would just want to punch people in the face back in the day. But now, like, I've even had guys talk shit on me, publicly on Facebook and everything. I guess that's publicly. And not like they were like some town crier, like, hear ye, Zach Maslany's a bum. But they were like writing it on Facebook, and dudes tagged me in it. This is years ago. And I've even went back, bit the bullet, act like I didn't even know about it. Or even the guy knows that I know about it, and he asked me to teach a seminar at his school. And I could have been like, nah, screw you. But I taught the seminar, I took the money, and I was thankful for the guy giving me the opportunity. And it's like, I could be still mad and fuck that guy, but what's the point? You know what I mean? I'm getting too old for that shit. I'm like trying to, be like John Jock. He's like unflappable. You can't get him mad. You'd be like, dude, John Jock, whatever. Nothing offends him. He will be mad, but he's not going to show you. He's not going to give you the satisfaction of acting like a maniac or something like that, So, stillness is key. That's another book by Ryan Holiday. So if you want to look that up, those are on my book list. You guys know that. What else? Oh, questions. Let's get to that real quick. I told people on my Instagram, and you guys can continue to do this. DM me questions. And now I just got to figure out on Instagram how to find it. Okay, here we go. And you ask me questions, and I'll try to cover as many as I can. So we actually got a couple of them. So first one is from my boy. He's actually got two of them here. My boy Lucky Lefty 03 on the gram. He said, what's my favorite Big L song? So there's a lot of good Big L songs, man. Like Big L, a lot of people don't even know about Big L. That's what's crazy. How do you not, if you're a rap fan and you're not digging in the crates looking up shit from Big L, like DITC, or just like old shit that he did with Lord Finesse, and all the freestyles on the Stretch and Bobolito show, which people don't know. That's like speaking Chinese to people. All the shit that I just said there. But that's when I used to be buying, mixtapes back in the day. So, so I think probably I would have to say, I don't know. I like so many different ones. 98 Freestyle is probably my favorite thing. Or if I had to choose, I would probably say if it was just like a regular cut and not like a freestyle, because Big L is like the, punchline kid before Lloyd Banks was. But I think my favorite Big L song would have to be Platinum Plus. I think that would be my favorite song. So look into it if you don't know, if you've never heard of that. But Big L is the man. And I think one of my favorite, he's got so many one-liners. You like Big L? You like Big L, obviously.
I like all that old stuff.
Yeah.
A friend of mine got me into that, but it was the same thing, getting mixtapes, going in the city, digging through crates because he was DJing and shit.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. That's actually one of their, he was in a group called DITC, stands for Digging in the Crates. 9-9. And then, obviously he would just go on. The Stretch and Bobalito show is like a old radio show that was getting done out of a college by Stretch and Bobalito. And they would have guys on really late at night. It'd be like 2 a.m. They would have dudes on to just freestyle and shit. And Big L and Jay-Z were on there when Jay-Z was real young. The Graveyard's another one. I think I mentioned that. Look into that. He's just got so many one-liners. I love when I show the kids about him. Actually, too, one time we were driving Eddie Bravo to the airport and we were playing some Big L, and he's like, "Who's this?" And we're like, "Damn, you West Coast guys, West Coast dudes are too into, maybe Dre and Snoop back in the day, or West Side Connection, or Ice Cube and shit. Not as much Big L." So, anyways, look into it. DX or NWO. Ooh, New World Order. Honestly, I can't even choose, because at the time, that was the best time for wrestling. Even though I grew up in like the heyday of wrestling, and then when they were going back and forth, I remember at my grandmother's house, me and my cousin were so into it. We would watch, we would record one of them because they would come on at the same time.
Yeah.
So we would record one on Monday night. I would stay up and watch it. My parents would make me go to bed. But then when my cousin would come over on the weekend, we'd record them on 2 TVs. So it would be playing both. And they'd be like, "Oh my God, Stone Cold just came out." And they'd be like, "Oh my God, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall just showed up on what was it? Nitro, Monday Night Nitro. It was so crazy, dude. The Wolfpack, the NWO, all that shit.
That was a game changer.
Yeah.
When they first brought out NWO and had all that stuff, that was the first time that more people started viewing WCW than WWF ever. Like that was the first time where it was like, oh shit. And they had that whole gang mob mentality, and they brought Razor Ramon over, and they just started stacking it.
Dude, it was crazy. I love that shit. I love when they
stinging the rafters for no reason.
It. Yeah, they just stacked it with guys. Goldberg.
Yeah.
And then they were just nonstop. The whole crew would come. It would always, but then it got crazy because like every Monday night.
It wasn't even wrestling.
Yeah, it was just nonstop gang beatdowns. Yeah. No one ever won a belt, like belt, except for they would just have Goldberg just out of
spearing everybody, and then they'd beat him up and spray paint his belt.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy time. So I can't choose. And then DX was also crazy because everybody. Well, we would always be in high school. We would always do that. We would always be look at each other. Teachers would be like, "Be quiet," and we'd be like, and people like, "You guys are so corny." Girls thought we were retarded.
And then, dude, we'd always be like, "I got 2 words for you." Like that was huge when they would do that.
Suck it. That never gets old. Kids would be like always doing that.
The
Every
DX
time.
chop.
Yeah, the good one. Another good one was the teacher would stand up and start writing on the board, and a kid would stand up and be like,
"Yeah,
oh shit." And they would just start just nailing it. Oh shit! Did I break this?
No, I think that what was holding it is just.
Oh yeah, I just got to turn it.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, kids would go crazy on that. So, but yeah, so I can't. Good questions, but I can't choose. I'd have to ask my cousin what he liked better.
That was a solid question.
Yeah, that was I'd have to talk to him. I'm gonna have to phone a friend and ask my cousin on that one too. All right, we got this one from Ginger Grappler 10P. That's Sid the Kid, and he wants to know the next finisher's weight tournament style. So I was kind of breaking that down, so I'm really hoping this gets going soon. But what I'm going to do is over at I'm looking to do this in Allentown over at I forget what the name of the CrossFit place is. Andrew Kochel trains, but I want to do during the day. I want to have 10 10 divisions, right? That's why I don't know why I couldn't think of the word divisions. I'm losing it. But I want to have 10 divisions and then just different divisions. It could be like 155 white and blue belt, 155 and under. And we'll cap it off at 16 guys, $100 to get in. You get 2 matches no matter what. And the winner of the event, winner of each division will get $500 as long as there's 16 guys signed up, right? And then we'll do that during the day. There'll be a live stream, and we'll guarantee 2 matches, so you get put in a loser's bracket. So at least you don't just get smoked in one match and you're out, although that is quite a possibility because that happens a lot because it's sub only. And then at night, we're going to do another pro event. So it'll be like an all-day event. We'll do it during the day, take a break, and then come back at night. I'm sure Mike's going to be cooking food and all types of stuff.
Yeah, that'll be the first time I'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to do this. And then at night, we'll probably have, it's going to be Finishers 13, which is crazy. And it'll probably be champion versus champion. We'll do the absolute division. And I'm going to try to get a bunch of the guys who already won divisions or won super fights back in the day to be in that division. It's going to be invite only. I'm not going to put it out there for like whoever wants to be in. I know enough guys right now that I could just talk to dudes and it'll be fine. And then the super fights will only be people who are either champion at the finishers. So like already somebody called out Damian Anderson from Henzo's already called out Grace to go against Katerina Leonventiva, Katya. You know what I'm talking about. She's the blonde girl who won the blonde Russian. I think she's Russian. She'll probably match.
I was just impressed with your pronunciation.
Czechoslovakian. I'm Ukrainian, dude. That's why I can say that because I'm Ukrainian. But yeah, so Katerina Leonventiva. That's what I think her name is. But anyway, shout out to her. It's not her fault. She didn't call out Grace. But that would be actually, I was thinking about this and I was like, all right, we're going to have an absolute, which absolute is open weight, 16 guys, 2,500 or $3,000 like we usually do. So we bring the pro back and then we'll have like 5 super fights. That's it. And they're all going to be, you have to be either a finishers champion, which Grace is a finishers 105, finishers 10, 105 champion. And Kataya, I think she is the finishers 9, 115 champion. So champion versus champion.
That's cool.
The immovable object versus the unstoppable force. Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior. And that would be a great match. So not to look past my Sebastos by any means, but win or lose, it's not like that's going to be Grace's last match. She doesn't evaporate if she loses the match by accident. So she'll get another match, and finishers is it's free, and I'm sure I can get her paid for that too. And then I would like to have, there's a bunch of other good matches. I got to get John Calistine to come back. I'd love to see him face somebody. Love to get Ashley Williams, John Battle, Frank Rosenthal, Andrew Alexander. There's a whole bunch of guys that are just in the game, just crushing. Just doing a lot of matches. I love to get PJ Barch. He's another champion. Keith Gregorian. Any of the guys, Dan Martinez, any of the guys who won our tournament, we'll bring them back and try to set them up with a match and try to get them a little bit of dough, for travel or whatever. And then also too, it doesn't necessarily have to be the finishers though, because that limits, because we've only had 13 events, so it limits how many champions there are. So if you won EBI or if you won Combat Jiu-Jitsu, for instance, if you won Sapaterio, shout out to Josh Leduc down in Florida, running shows down there. So if you're Sapaterio champ, face one of the finisher champs, that would be dope. Help them out. If you're the Rise champ, Rise Invitational, Matt Cully and the boys up in the city, New York City, putting out matches, Kasai, whatever. If you're a champ of a different tournament, if you're Sogi champ, shout out to Chris Shagoli and 10P Long Island, Steve Castine and all the guys over there. So if you're a champion of any of those events, like big events where you had to beat 16 dudes or you had to beat 8 people or whatever, same style tournament, love to have you on, champion versus champion. I think that'd be really cool and that'd be a good one, to promote while Biden's going to lock us down. Let's see what else. So that's my goal on that one. I know we've had a lot of different stuff going out, like what people are thinking about doing, but that's what we're doing. That's what I want to do. But things change. I always get a hair up my ass. We'll change something else. Season 2 of Sons of Finishers. That's already been going on. People, that was like a joke. We're starting a gang. And basically with those hoodies that we got from Axelrad, those basically looks like we're a gang. We're walking down Philly. People are scared of us. They're like, oh shit.
You guys look like a biker gang.
Yeah, exactly. Sons of Finishers. We can either help you or we can hurt you. Either way, but we're going to be around. We're going to be intimidating other local businesses and starting to make them join us. This one is from, and that question was from Jamie. Shout out to Jamie. He's one of our purple belts. He's a man. Bobby Garrett MC. Last question here from Bobby Garrett. That's a cool name, Bobby Garrett. That's like, that boy got 2 first names. Sounds like a BMAC impersonation. Tips on what beginners should focus on. Beginners, man, that's a tough one. I teach a Monday beginner class every Monday at Finishers MMA, 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu in Easton, even though we call it 10 Planet Bethlehem, William Penn Highway. Check us out, finishersmma.com. Get at it. Yeah, I teach a beginner class, and like I talk a lot in that class, more than I talk in advanced class. Advanced class, where I already get to training. If you're in my advanced class, you're already at a certain level. You know, and if you're training with me, JM, and the rest of the guys, Tom taught this morning, Jules, Renee, like if you're already in advanced class and you're already at a certain level, or you don't give a fuck about not knowing shit and you're going to pick it up quick. You're just like, I don't care. I just jump in, I'll learn. I don't care about getting tapped, whatever. Some people a little more reserved, and that's fine. It's your journey. It's your path. You choose. If you want to stay in beginner class longer, by all means do so. We're not going to be mad at you. You know, just stay there and you'll be good. You know, you can work your way up, or especially if you're starting no-gi jiu-jitsu at a later period in your life. Like if you're starting at like 35 and you haven't done shit since you're like 17, then maybe you want to take it slower and get into shape. So what I always tell beginners in my class to focus on, yes, focus on the moves. Like you didn't ask me specifically, so there's not a move I can tell you specifically. But what I would say is I would just focus on your body. Focus on knowing your body and feeling yourself. Feel yourself. You know what I mean? Not too much, though. But definitely feel yourself. If your elbow's hurting, you need to ice it. Like, you can't ignore injuries, and you can't ignore, like, bumps and bruises. If you're, like, back is fucked up or whatever, you need to look into those things, and you might need to change things. But if you're just going to go and try to do jiu-jitsu twice a week and go hard, it's not good for you. So what I always tell beginners to focus on is their body. You need to stretch. You need to think about, if you don't do any type of calisthenics or workout, you need to think about getting in a routine. Wake up in the morning, stretch out for 15 minutes. Dude, you don't even have to get out of bed, dude. I learned that from DDP, dude. He used to have Jake the Snake, remember? You ever see that when Diamond Dallas Page was recovering? We talked a lot of wrestling talk, but
no, it's good. Yeah. He helped out Razor Ramon.
He helped out a lot of people.
And Jake the Snake.
Yeah, Jake the Snake was really fucked up. His back was destroyed. He was all out of shape and everything, doing coke and crack and snorting fucking, methamphetamines and all types of stuff. So, but because Jake was he was doing his DDP yoga, which I'm sure it's fine. I never really looked into the actual DDP yoga.
Probably just yoga.
But he was just telling him, yo, you could do this, just stretch out in bed. You wake up in bed. If you don't have to, if you can set your alarm earlier. I know some people got to be up at work and they're just listening to this while they're driving. They're like, fuck, I got to get to work. And because I used to just come out of bed like the Undertaker, just wake up and just brush my teeth as I'm taking a shit, showering as I'm eating a bacon, egg, and sandwich, and I'm fucking out the door running, losing shit, crashing my car on the way to work and stuff. Like, it wasn't pretty because I left no time, as I'd stay up at night because I didn't want to think about going to work the next day. But if you do have some time, or if you're like me and you work for yourself, whatever, because I know a lot of you guys do, when you wake up, just lay in bed for 10 minutes and stretch. Just, remember I told you about the phone thing? Told you guys about the phone thing? Put your phone out. When I wake up, I don't look over and be like, fucking Bill Gates is I don't get pissed. I'm like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like within my 1 hour, I'm like half awake and I'm ready to stab the governor. I'm like, motherfucker. So instead, that's out. And then I'll wake up in bed and I'm just like, I'm just trying to stretch and like feeling what hurts and what I need to like take care of more, what areas I should lather up with CBD. And do that, like if you need a couple of days off, like if you need a day off and I'm going to push my body, take a day off. You're feeling sick, start getting up on your vitamins and vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc and shit like that. And then you'll improve faster when your body, like they always tell you too, like Craig, shout out to Craig from Made Strength and Conditioning. And then right now I'm working with Bryant. He's one of our purple belts. He's getting into the strength and conditioning game. So if you're local and you're looking for like personal strength conditioning classes, hit me up. I'll direct you to Bryant Pabon on Instagram. But you get the most if you don't lift weights ever, and then you do jiu-jitsu for a year, and then all of a sudden you start lifting weights. If you're like a skinny guy and you're like, you can start, or if you're just even big and you got weight, you can start putting on weight. The first year, the first 6 months, you see so much improvement. You're like, damn, I'm jacked. Then it's small. Then once you're a black belt, it's not like big jump improvements. It's little small incremental improvements. But since you're already a black belt, you're already that deep in the game, those little small incremental, adjustments and like, you know, little move ups mean a lot to you, because it's like, well, I unlocked another key and it takes me longer now. But in the beginning, it's like you're unlocking all these keys. You're like, oh, I got this, got that. I'm getting jacked. I'm getting this. And then eventually it takes longer. But in the beginning, dude, boom, you just bang that out. So I think people, if you just start off with like twice a week with a kettlebell, twice a week stretching, yoga, something to just keep your body moving and keep yourself flexible. And then just for beginners also, when you come to class, just have an open mind. You're not going to know shit. It's going to take you a long time to get good, you know, unless you're some freakazoid person, but just take your time. Just take your time. Just have an open mind. If I had to settle down on what moves to work on first, I would say guard recovery. You have to be able to get your guard back. Look up Faraz Sahabi, guard recovery. I also got some stuff on my YouTube too. So, yeah, so thank you guys for the questions. Let's do that every week. That's pretty dope, right? Quick questions.
Yeah.
We'll have like
there was good questions in there too.
Yeah, there's some good ones. So, and we'll do more. I'll try to remember to post it up. But if you guys think of any and you want to talk more MMA stuff and jiu-jitsu stuff, I think I did that one podcast. It's a good one. It's called Forever White Belt Podcast. We just talk jiu-jitsu and MMA, and a lot of guys want to hear me talk about that stuff, but I don't want to like waste 40 minutes talking during class and waste everybody's class time. So this is what I want to do it on this podcast, not just talk politics and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I want to keep doing that because I think guys, you know, people really like that. And that's what I seem to get the most feedback on. So, and I know people, oh yeah, I answer your questions, and I never did it. So if you have one that you sent in before, send it in again. You know, Uncle Zach's trying. But other than that, have a great Thanksgiving. Make sure this Sunday, watch, UFC Fight Pass. JM is on, so that's this Sunday, UFC Fight Pass. I don't know, it's probably late because it's West Coast time, but shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for listening and you know, dealing with us and stuff, and yeah, appreciate it. So release the Kraken. Peace.